But I also want to go back to something you said when you made the comment about the fool's errand of the early on, people saying that your father's campaign. Did you hear that early on when you switched to an
I never
independent?
believed
And
that
do you
he
think?
could.
And do you think
I
that
was
you
14 then and very.
No, for your campaign now, do you think that
Yeah.
starting off,
Let me say,
people would say that?
with my dad's campaign, I believe that my father could not win. And as a 14-year-old kid, so what do I know? But I was I was reading the paper every day, and I was thinking about it my whole life. So, and it just, to me, it looked like there's no way that he can win. And then when Johnson stepped down, which was in March, I remember watching it on TV in the library of the school that I was going to and saying, oh, my dad's going to win because Johnson stepped down. So, I think I could win when I started. I thought there was a possibility. I had to think that, or my wife, Cheryl, would have never. If I went to her and said, I'm going to run in order to make a point, she would have not with me. And
Right.
Oh, I had to find a path to victory, and the reason that I ended up running is because there's a pollster whose name is Jeremy Zogby. He's has one of the biggest polling houses, and he'd been polling my name I never met him, but for some reason he was putting me in his polls when he had, because when you do a poll, you have like 22 questions you can ask, and a lot of the politicians will only ask 15 of them. Whenever he had extra questions on his poll, he'd put my name in. And he called me or emailed me and said, I need to come show you these numbers. And then he came and we sat at my kitchen table and he went through them. And he said, you could win the presidency with these numbers. And so that's when I went to Cheryl and said, and gave the idea. And it took.
Was that as a Democrat or an independent?
No, a Democrat.
Democrat, okay.
And and my numbers, even at the end, were showing me as a Democrat that I was beating Trump very easily. If I ran as a Democrat, our polls were showing that Biden would either tie Trump or lose to him. But I would beat him if I ran for Democrat, because I draw a lot from independents and Republicans, and all the Democrats who don't now like me would vote for me rather than vote for the devil himself.
Right.
So I was winning in a landslide against DeSantis and Trump and all the Republicans, and if the Democrats did what they should do, which is they want to win, the same as with Bernie. Bernie would have. Bernie.
But they did the same thing to Bernie they did to you.
Because their funding is coming from big corporations who do not want a progressive candidate. It will destroy their funding source.
Right.
And they'd rather lose than have a progressive candidate.